Everyone, and welcome to Her Majesty blog, where we bring together the world of pageants with the aim of revolutionizing those standards of beauty and creating social development through women empowerment. My name is Onke, and I will be your host on the show this evening. And on this particular show called It Is Within Her, we chat to amazing trailblazing women at the forefront of pageants, from queens to organizers, CEOs, founders, and the likes, as they let us in on their different journeys of becoming purposeful women in pageantry. So take a front row seat at this amazing platform. Welcome, everyone. We are also on YouTube, we are on X, and on Facebook and TikTok as Her Majesty Organization. So please feel free to like, subscribe, share, and leave us any comments. This evening, we are chatting to the beautiful, she looks amazing, Lungile Siyaphi, who is International Miss South Africa 2023-2024. You heard that right, Mus. International Miss South Africa, not Miss International South Africa. International Miss South Africa. I had to make sure that I get that right. So Lungile, if you are here, please send us a request to join the live. I cannot wait to find out more about this pageant. It was around this time last year when we received an invite to attend the launch of International Miss South Africa. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it, but the pageant looked really interesting. Shout out to Zintle Tupana, who is the CEO of the pageant, for sending us the invite. Unfortunately, we couldn't go, but Lungile is here as a representative, and we cannot wait to find out more about this interesting But yeah, like I always say, we are so happy and so excited every single time to get things going with profiling all the pageants. Sorry, I had a moment there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right, thanks. How are
I'm
you?
good. Thank you. I'm fantastic.
Amazing stuff. Look, on a personal note, I couldn't wait to say International Miss South Africa because I've been practicing it the entire day. Like I know I'd be this close to saying Miss International South Africa, but your pageant is International
Miss
South
South
Africa.
Africa. That is correct. Yes.
Okay, before we get to all of that, explaining what the pageant is all about and how it got to be where it is today, I'm going to start us off with an icebreaker. No?
Okay.
Yeah, just to ease you into the interview.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, great stuff. So, the name of the icebreaker or the icebreaker game is called One Must Go. Yeah?
Okay.
So, I'm going to give you two options. Yeah? And then from the two options, you let me know which one must go and which one must stay.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. All right. You ready? So it's the pageant edition of One Must Go.
Okay.
I'm excited. Okay. Option one, a sash and a crown. If you had to choose one.
Between a sash and a crown.
Yes.
Ooh. I would definitely choose a sash because remember, the crown does not make you a queen, right? So I love wearing my pageant or my title on my chest because I find so much pride in wearing it on my chest and letting other people know the brand that I am representing. So definitely a sash.
Definitely a sash. I could tell because you're wearing your sash now. And your crown is not in your head, on your head.
Correct.
So yeah, I could tell that one. It was a dead giveaway. I should have taken it out actually.
Should have, yes.
And then the next option is, okay, this one is between two pageant queens, né?
Okay.
It's Dr. Tamron Green Ngumalo versus Zozibini Tunzi.
Ooh, okay. That has to be a very tough one. That is a really, really tough one. But if I had to choose, I would go with Dr. Tamrin Green and Ngumalo because I think that she is a very big advocate for education, which is one of my advocacy. I believe that all children should be given the opportunity to get an education, and she's a strong advocate for that. So definitely Dr. Tamrin Green Ngumalo.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that comprehensive answer. I'll remember your advocacy when we go through the
Oh
interview.
yeah, definitely,
Mm,
definitely.
definitely. Option three, high heels versus sneakers.
Ooh, your questions are so tough.
On a personal note,
On a
don't think about
personal
pageants.
note,
Yes.
I absolutely love my sneakers. Absolutely, absolutely love my sneakers. But at the moment, I think I own more heels than sneakers because
Okay.
of pageantry.
Okay, because of pageantry. All right,
Yes.
all right. I'll take that. It makes sense. The last option is a one-day pageant versus a journey pageant.
Definitely a journey pageant. I think there's so much more that you learn from being in a journey pageant, and you get to interact with so many more people, and also with you connect better with your sister queens on a journey pageant as you spend a couple of days with them, so you get to know them on a more personal level than just on social media or if you're just meeting backstage for the first time.
All right. No, I love that. So I'm going to ask you a follow-up question. It's actually interesting. I don't want to leave this one hanging. It's very controversial, no?
Okay.
Because most pageants would say, okay, we are judging you based on your journey within the pageant itself. And then at the end of the day, how you perform on the final day ends up being how you are judged as well. So if you were a judge, yeah, and there was one candidate, there's Unke. Unke has had a beautiful journey, crown chasers. She was leading and winning all the tasks every single week. And then there's Lungile. Lungile is now performing her best during the final 2 days, like prelims and the finals, and she's answering all the questions amazingly. Which of the two candidates between Onke and Lungile would you say deserves the crown?
Hmm. I'm still swaying towards the one of the journey. So I think I
Okay.
would rather choose Onke because
Mm,
being through the journey, you get to learn more about the model. So you're not only
mm,
seeing them perform on stage, you get to know more about their values and where they come from. You get to
mm.
learn about their advocacies and what they stand for. So I believe through journey pageants, we get to learn more about the person that we are going to choose and appoint as our next queen. So definitely a journey, then a day pageant.
Like that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for participating so
Of
nicely.
course.
We're getting to the interview. We're getting to the interview now. Please tell us more about yourself. What does a day in the life of Lungile Siyaphi actually looks like?
Okay, so a day in my life typically starts around 7 a.m. when I start getting ready for campus because I'm a university student currently. So it starts quite early in the day and I get ready and I'm immediately off to school to start attending my classes. So a day in my life would be me attending classes, spending some time with my friends on campus between my classes, or I'm in the library working on an assignment. And after that, I am back home quite late in the evenings, which would then result in me having dinner with the family and off to more studying because I am a student.
Amazing stuff. And then where does pageantry or modeling actually fit in?
So I think as a model, you need to have good time management skills. And I think I am one person who has almost mastered the skill of having good time management. So in between studying and working on my assignments or preparing for a test, then I know that I also need to prepare for an upcoming pageant or an interview that I have to do. So I prioritize time management and I'm able to just work between being a student and being a model.
Ah, amazing. And if you could describe yourself in 2 to 3 words, which words would you
Ooh,
use?
okay. So, if I were to describe myself
Mm.
in three words, they would definitely be kind, generous, and a go-getter. I am one person who strives to reach my goals, and I think I do so quite effectively. So, if it's either I am working on a math equation that I just have to get correctly before I go to bed, or I'm competing in a pageant for the third time because I really want the title of the winner.
Ah, that's so amazing. I love that. And then if like you could describe yourself based on your childhood, which aspects of your childhood would you say contribute to the woman that you are today?
So my childhood really consisted of me being around my family. I'm a very family orientated person, and I've spent a lot of time with my family, and I still do till today. So whether it's on a Friday evening where we're sitting together just engaging in a conversation, or we are having a games night, I am literally always with my family. And I think that's also what shaped me and made me this strong, independent, and confident young woman that you see today, because I drew a lot of my values and my pardon me, my attitudes to life. So I draw a lot of that from them, and just by interacting with them and being around the same space with them.
That's amazing. And then your confidence, I mean, you are a very confident and well-spoken young woman besides attributes. Uh, where do you get that from?
My confidence, I'd say definitely modeling. Being in the space, being in the industry has really helped me gain self-confidence, because I remember as a younger girl, I wasn't a very confident person. I struggled a bit with self-esteem. So being in the industry has really taught me how to truly value myself and how to find my confidence and know where to draw my strength from.
Ah, that's so great. I love that so much. And let's move now to pageantry. Why did you choose pageantry out of everything else you would have done in the world?
So how I got into pageantry is actually a bit of a funny story.
Mm,
So I remember I was in grade 8 at the time, and it was actually my little brother who wanted to be in pageantry. At the time, I was still trying to find a new hobby. I was still trying to find myself. So my mom actually is the one who encouraged me to join my brother in pageantry. And after doing my first pageant was when I fell in love with the industry. So
that's that's how it all started. What was your first pageant?
my
Let's go back to that one.
first pageant was, if I remember correctly, was Miss Spring. Yes, if I remember correctly, it was Miss Spring, and that was over oof, over 8 years ago, if I remember.
Mm,
And yeah, I did not place in that pageant, unfortunately, but
mm.
it is definitely what drew me towards being more and learning more about the industry. And I actually fell in love with it from that pageant.
And pageantry, of course, is a combination, if I put it that way, of modeling and as well as speaking and engaging and community work. Which aspect of pageantry would you say made you say, okay, I'm going for this one and I'm never stopping from Miss Spring until now?
So, a bit of all of them, if I'm being
Mm,
quite honest. I absolutely enjoy being on stage. I'd never done anything like that before.
mm,
So, the thrill and the rush that I got from walking on that stage is what drew
mm,
me in. And I told myself, I really need to do that again, you know? And
mm,
also, the community work, I got to meet a lot of people through doing charity work and going out to different places like orphanage homes or children's homes, or if I'm just doing a feeding scheme, for
mm.
example. So I really got to connect with many people and meet a lot of new and interesting people through being in the space and being in the industry.
All together. Ah, I love that so much. And let's move now to international Miss South Africa. what made you go for this particular pageant? Because it was launched last year.
Mhm.
And did you compete? Like, were you automatically placed? How was the process to getting you to be the queen? And you are the big queen, right? You
I
are like the
am,
main girl.
yes.
Yes, okay. I need to emphasize that. You know, there are other categories, but you are the main girl. So how did that come about?
So my title was actually an appointed title. I did not
Yes.
compete for my
Mm,
current title. I was appointed by our directors. But
mm,
also, what I loved about the pageant was the values that they uphold, the values that they work towards implementing within their pageant. So that is what drew me to them, and that is what made me stay with them till this very day. They are big on empowerment and sustainability, and they are big on the girl child
mm,
specifically. They work on empowering the girl child, whether it's giving out stationery or
mm,
clothing on Christmas Day. They are just really a platform that emphasizes girl empowerment, and
mm,
that is one of the things that I work for or work towards in my feeding scheme, empowering the girl child. So I definitely, there are values that has kept me with them till today.
mm. Amazing. And when it comes to your advocacy of education, like you mentioned earlier on, how do you then incorporate that into the pageant itself to make sure that you, of course, have a bit of both? You know, you are a rep within a pageant, but you also have what you stand for.
So IMSA specifically has done so through, I know they did mentorship
Mm,
and extra classes for their contestants who will be competing in September. So I think that is how they have implemented empowering the girl child. And I
mm,
myself do so within my feeding scheme, which I run in Soweto.
mm,
I also believe that education is the key to success. So I do so by also providing stationery to the children in the feeding scheme to ensure that they can most definitely have the resources to go to school and to work towards achieving their dreams.
right? Yeah. I actually I love that because you know when it comes to advocating for education, you're also advocating for all social ills.
Mm,
A child goes to
definitely.
school hungry, they can't concentrate.
Exactly.
So when you are adding on to society in general and the welfare of the child, then education becomes, like we say, a walk in the park.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. And then this year you went to represent South Africa
Mm.
in the USA in Colorado for the international grand finale of International Miss. What's the name of the international organization?
It is called International Miss. Just
Okay, so I got
international
it
miss.
right.
You got it right, yes.
I've been practicing this entire day to get the name right. Like I just wanted to make sure. Okay, so it's called International Miss.
Yes,
Yeah. So when you
correct.
win the international title, like
Then
what is your title? Is it
then so what happens is, like, I
mm,
myself, I'm International Miss South Africa.
mm,
So I go
okay?
represent South Africa. And if you win at internationals, then you are International Miss. So excluding your country's name, and you're just International Miss.
Okay, that is really, really interesting. Like, I want to have a chat with Zindli to actually ask her how she found this nice pageant and incorporating it into the South African pageantry industry altogether. And that's something that I want to ask you now. That, you
Uh,
know, we have a lot of pageants in South Africa that, you know, take representatives overseas. We have Miss International by itself. We have Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss Grand, and this is a Grand Slam pageant. How do you think then it fits into the bigger scheme of pageantry within South Africa? Because you don't want it to fall in the background. How can we say that it's distinct from all the other pageants?
well, I think there are a number of factors that make it so distinct.
Mm,
One of which that I have mentioned, it really works with empowering the girl child. I don't think
mm,
many pageants do so. Many pageants are actually one day pageants, and you literally just meet the person on the day, and they are crowned based on their performance on the day. But International Miss South Africa really prioritizes your journey, and through your journey, I think we learn a lot about the queen through the journey, and your advocacies, like I have mentioned before. Oof.
No, I completely, I get you. I get you. Yeah.
Excuse me. Um, oh, a moment, sorry. But
No
I
problem.
think just International Miss is a really great platform for us to grow as females. We're going to interact with many different people, models as well, just among ourselves. We get to learn a lot from interacting with each other and being in each other's spaces. So
Ah,
yeah,
I love that. I love it. That's why you love the journey. It's all about the
I love the
journey. Like
journey.
getting
It
there.
is all
Ah,
about the journey. Yeah.
all about the journey. All about the journey. And all about the girl child.
Mm.
Yeah. I love that as well about the pageant. And speaking of or towards that point, you are a second year construction studies student. What is construction studies? It sounds like a male dominated industry.
Definitely.
When I think construction, I think we're thinking that hat, and then someone out there in the streets trying to drill down a tar road or something along those lines. So, how do you place yourself within that industry as a girl child and in the process empower others?
Mm. So
Losing her.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
you are back. I was about to
perfect.
check my network, but yeah, no, I checked it. It's fine.
Okay, perfect. So as I was saying, male construction is a male-dominated industry,
Mhm.
and it is an industry with not many females in it.
Mhm.
But because I've found my love for the industry and I found my passion within the industry, I told myself that I am definitely going for it. It is a matter of being able to push boundaries and really going for what you want in life. You know, it is a matter of uh ignoring or all voices that tell you that you cannot do a certain thing because you are a girl or
Mm.
because you're female. It is a matter of really just going after what you want. And for me, this is definitely being in the construction industry.
Ah, I love that. Is that the reason why you are appointed as International Miss South Africa?
Well, I'm not too sure. I mean, I'd have to ask my directors.
I'm gathering facts. I'm gathering facts, and every single time you speak, I see why you are appointed as International Miss South Africa because you're just so brilliant. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And then we mentioned community work as well within your advocacy and within the pageant itself. Where are you based? Are you doing community work in your community, or are you empowering other communities?
So I am I actually have a feeding scheme which is based
Yes.
in Soweto, Orlando
Yes.
East. I'm actually a co-founder of it. So it is where I am originally from. It is where
Oh,
most of my
nice.
family members are from. And
Mm.
hence it is based in Orlando East in Soweto. So it is a feeding scheme that is aimed at providing meals for the children in the community,
Mm.
to ensure that they have at least one meal a day, and to ensure that they have food in the mornings, for example, when they're
Mm.
going to school. It is also goes um, back to the education. You know, it is
Mm.
empowering them to still go to school, because it is really not easy to go to school on an empty stomach. It is not easy to
Yes.
go to school hungry. So it is
Mm.
also helping them work towards